Why men cheat. Grandma's porch, a place to relax, a place to enjoy. Come visit Grandma's porch. Why men cheat. Why husbands cheat. Hello, y'all. I'm Diana Brienne. Well, I'm not ganging up on men because I love men. I think men are wonderful. And I'm just here to talk about why, in my opinions, some husbands cheat. Now, we have to remember that when we say men cheat, we're not talking about all men. Because I think the majority of men are decent and wonderful and amazing. And remember, there are women that cheat too. And that could be a whole different video. Okay, I think the reasons women cheat are often different than why men cheat. Cheating is broken trust. It's where you've made a commitment to someone else and you break it, and it usually involves lying. And that's why it's called cheating, okay? And many marriages never have that issue. So I'm talking about those select marriages that do have those issues. There can be a lot of reasons why people cheat. And often the person who cheats will blame the person who they're cheating on for their cheating. And when cheating happens, it really is about the person cheating and not about the person they're cheating on. Because people choose to cheat. Cheating doesn't just happen. They choose it at some level. Some people are chronic cheaters, and other people have just cheated once, maybe twice, maybe 3 times, but cheating does happen. And this is a hard topic because, well, people don't like to talk about this. It's kind of covered up. So why am I on here talking about it? Well, my husband and I have been married about 30 years. And I have to tell you that most of the people in our age group are divorced. Most. We are one of the few that are left standing of the people that we have known along the way. And of the ones that we have known along the way, a couple of them survived cheating. And I've done videos on that before. And I think as awful as cheating is, it is survivable. And I know some people have said, oh no, you got to throw away that marriage. Well, I did a video on that about the woman who chose to save her marriage, regardless of the cheating that took place. And so you can go back and look for that one if you want. I think it was called Cheating Husbands or something like that. I don't know what it was called really, but it was a good video. And so everyone has their viewpoints, and I know it, and I got it. And I know men don't like to be signaled out for being cheaters, because most men are not, okay? We have to keep that in mind. One bad egg is not going to spoil the whole dozen, so don't let it. Remember, there's a lot of great men out there, a lot of wonderful, amazing, committed men, a lot of men who are amazing husbands, amazing fathers, amazing friends, amazing family men. So we've got to keep that in mind. And yet, what about those ones that cheat? Like I said, I believe it comes down to the cheater. It's for their own gratification. even though they'll often justify, minimize, and blame their spouse. But I can also say that as a spouse has some responsibility, a lot of responsibility towards that marriage. You can't stop someone else from cheating, but you can set your marriage up so that it will be successful. My theory is that many men leave their wives or cheat on their wives for fantasy, because when they're dating that wife, often that wife looks her best. She is her best. She doesn't dump her daily problems on the relationship. And yet, sometimes after marriage, short time or a long period of time, women begin to just kind of let themselves go. Physically, emotionally, their conversations are all about problems. So now when the husband comes home, it's all about problems. And it's not about anything good or anything fun. And that wears on a person after a while. So they begin to look for fantasy somewhere else. I knew a woman that called me up and she was crying. She said, my husband, he said I looked old. Well, that wasn't nice of him to say that. Okay, I got it. But it was also a wake-up call for her. She was walking around in her bathrobe that had a hole in it. It was an old bathrobe. She had left herself get out of shape. She wasn't taking care of herself. She didn't really take care of her hair anymore. She kind of just slumped around, and she didn't wear any makeup. And when she went to bed, she wore probably her ugliest pajamas that she could wear. And so I think her husband was acting out and saying, hey, wake up, wake up. I don't like this. Do something with yourself. And I told her that. I said, get rid of that old ugly robe. I said, put on something nice when you go to bed. Fix your hair up. Look nice. Quit talking about all your problems as soon as he walks in the door. Unless it's a significant problem that needs to be discussed, most problems can be let go till another time. I said, be pleasant to be around. Don't be an old grump or an old grouch. And so many wives just get complacent. Now, I know a lot of women are going to say, how dare you say this about me? That's not true. I'm not saying for all wives, okay? I'm not. I had one girlfriend, and I told this story too, that she was a wonderful wife. She dressed up for her husband. She did everything right. She was the perfect mother, perfect housekeeper, house cleaner. She wore sexy underwear for her husband, all of that. And yet he left her for another woman. But what was interesting is about my friend, she was a little bit of a doormat. She was always there to please her husband. She really didn't ask him to please her. It was always about pleasing him. And I think had she expected him to please her, maybe she would have held on to that marriage. It's hard to say. But what I'm saying is when we become doormats to another person, they walk all over us. And often it's the doormat that gets left. I have rarely seen a woman who took great care of herself, who had self-respect for herself, who expected others to treat her well. I've rarely seen those women left. Sometimes men will leave for someone because they build a relationship at work. It can happen. They're with somebody 8-10 hours a day, day in, day out. They see their wife for maybe 1 hour a day, and then she's grumpy and in her old robe and complaining, So am I justifying men to cheat? No. No, I'm not. I'm giving some of the reasons behind it. There are men that just cheat. There are women that just cheat. There are people that just cheat to cheat, and those are chronic cheaters. And then there are men or women that get caught up into a relationship gradually, and they've cheated. Cheating breaks trust. It's very hard to overcome cheating. Very, very hard. But it can be done. It can be done. It's a process. And is it fully ever healed? I don't think it's fully ever healed. I think there's always going to be a scar. But sometimes you can piece back together that marriage better than it ever was. unfortunately, sometimes an affair is a wake-up call, a huge wake-up call, an unfortunate wake-up call that's unnecessary if you keep doing all the right things for your marriage. So what about those who do all the right things for their marriage and their spouse leaves anyhow? That can happen too. That can happen too. So no matter how perfect you are, no matter how much you think of yourself, no matter how good you are in the relationship, it can happen. Some people just cheat. And when that happens, we've got to realize it's about them. It's not about us. Don't take the blame for someone else cheating. And so I believe in setting our marriages up to be our best, not our worst. Don't go to bed with curlers in your hair and cold cream on your face and that old ugly robe. Go to bed in something nice. Greet your husband at the door with a kiss. Or your wife, however the situation may be. I know probably a lot of people are going to disagree with me and say, oh, you're terrible, you're blaming men, and now you're putting all the blame on women. I'm not. I'm just being realistic as Grandma would be to me. I think that there are things that we can do to keep a great marriage great. And I think if we become sloppy in that marriage, we're asking for trouble. Okay? And I think also there's many reasons why people cheat. And it's never justified, in my opinion. Okay? It's always for the person who's cheating's benefit. And often it has nothing or very little to do with the person they're cheating on. And so we've got to keep that in mind. Cheating is broken trust. It's something that is very, very unfortunate. But remember, there are great marriages that cheating has never happened and never will happen. So we have to keep that in mind. There are great men out there. There are great women out there. Okay, so when we talk about cheaters, we're not talking about everyone. We're talking about those specific people that make cheating a lifestyle. We're not talking about the good people that stay faithful. So keep in mind all the good people that stay faithful to their partners. From my house to yours, may God bless you. I hope you like, share, subscribe, and shout out my channel to all your friends. And so may God bless you. And so from Grandma's porch, I'll talk to you then. Bye-bye. Grandma's porch, a place to relax and a place to enjoy.